Note the disclaimer. So right out of the gate with a huge labelling mistake which Luke and Vader already pointed out. I mean, you've got the title card there saying in 9 minutes or less, which is correct. However, the title under your video says in 10 minutes or less. Someone on your editing team mucked up there.
47 seconds of logos.
1 second of time wasting.
Backwards N, school spelled with a K. How old is Andy supposed to be in this movie again? Because unless it's 6, he should know better. Either that or he made all these box buildings as a 6-year-old and is still playing with them years later, which is just sad.
First off, yes, he is 6. Or more accurately, turning 6. Secondly, how good at spelling would you expect a 6-year-old to actually be? Hell, I wasn't perfect when I was 6. Grammatical errors, typos and all. Point is, no one is perfect at a skill. And this is rich coming from a dude who misuses Deus Ex Machina every damn chance he gets.
I brought my attack dog with a built-in force field. Well, I brought my dinosaur who eats force field dogs.
Children's imaginations.
Literally sinning a child's imagination. I might just end up repeating a point I made in How to Train Your Dragon 2. Saying this is ridiculous like that only tells me that when you were a kid, you only let other kids play with you if they only played by your rules alone.
Computer animation baby collects another soul if you look it directly in the eyes.
You know you're struggling for material when you have to resort to this. And like Vader said, the Tin Toy Baby was far worse.
Also, in this giant-ass 2-story house with only one adult, why the hell does Andy have to share a bedroom with the baby sister? Does Mom have, 3 separate crafting rooms?
Maybe there is an explanation, but A, it isn't important to the story, and B, they're moving soon anyway, so any explanation would be pointless.
Andy is a dick to Woody.
He's a tough toy. He can take it.
This household has a Super Nintendo system, but apparently no games to play with it.
Or they could be in a cabinet somewhere. I mean, I have 6 consoles. PlayStation 2, Nintendo GameCube, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii U, and PlayStation 4. And I keep all of the games for them in a drawer in my entertainment unit.
Also, Andy has a Super Nintendo, but would still rather play with Woody dolls. Probably because of the lack of games, I'm guessing.
Okay, look. I was born in 2000, and by the time I was 5, and even later, I was still playing with Hot Wheels, Legos, action figures and stuffed toys. Even with the PS2 in the entertainment unit. Just saying that in those days, and even in the Birdman's time, and just as far back as yours, people still physically played with toys and went outside to play in the yard. Nowadays, however, it might be a bit different, especially with what Toy Story 5 is about to explore. Also double dipping.
Pull my string, the birthday party's today?
With the sheer number of toys strewn around this house and Woody's apparent wealth of logic and street smarts, there is no way he would get the date of the birthday party wrong.
Actually, this is kind of realistic, as most people tend to forget things like birthdays. Mind you, this was a split decision to do so before the move, so no wonder this news slipped past Woody like that.
Overly dexterous plastic pig not only tosses coin in the air without opposable thumbs, but also lands it perfectly straight up so it goes into his piggy bank slot.
Okay, let's just get this out of the way. This is a movie about toys that don't have vocal cords but are able to speak, don't have lungs but are able to breathe, and are capable of complex thought. This isn't our reality.
I'm Picasso. I don't get it. You uncultured swine.
How did Mr. Potato Head even know Picasso's work to make the joke in the first place?
Wait. You just said Woody has a wealth of street smarts, which would imply the rest of them would at least have some form of knowledge and intelligence. And now you say that? Are you on the reefer again, Jeremy?
Stay off the weed.
Sorry, John Lasseter. No one is reading a supposed 200-page book concerning your 1988 Oscar-winning short Tin Toy. Nice try, animators.
Say yes, Mania. You want to take this one, mate?
Yes. How dare Disney subtly promote other movies they own in a movie about freaking toys that they also own? I said this in my Enchanted video, Jer, and I will keep saying it. The fact it is a book is irrelevant.
What do you say I get someone else to watch the sheep tonight?
Scene does not contain a cartoon lap dance.
Ugh, try squirming out of this one, mate. You and your progressive thinking.
Also, the idea of toys having sex.
I'm gonna stop you right there. This isn't something you need to know, especially after the lap dance scene earlier. Plus, this is just supposed to be a clever adult joke in a kids movie that you're just overanalyzing again. Also, romantic relationships don't always have to involve sex. I mean, have you ever heard of celibacy? And abstinence? Is Jeremy really that depraved?
Take a look at all those presents. I can't see a thing.
What if Andy were to walk in the bedroom right now, huh? Do you people have any idea the emotional scarring you'd cause if he saw all this? Woody doesn't order the soldiers out to do recon for another 45 seconds or so. So they literally have no way to know if Andy's approaching, but they're still way out of position.
But this doesn't happen. What if questions don't equate as sins here?
None of the neighbors see this stuff. Am I the only person in America who spies on his neighbors?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you just admit, on video, to spying on your neighbors?
Wait, his totally solid plastic binoculars actually work?
Wait, his totally solid plastic eyes can see? Do you hear how idiotic that sounds?
It's a board game. Repeat, battleship.
Geez, if not for the surprise Buzz Lightyear later, Andy's gifts would be proof that he's unloved.
Oh dear, I bet you're really fun at parties. Anyway, love isn't determined by what you get on your birthdays or at Christmas, or how much money someone spends on you. And for me, I don't really care that much about material gain, just as long as I'm around people who care about me. Similarly to what Luke said in his rebuttal.
These toys open the closet door without using the handle.
Okay, Jay, show him how it's done once more. Cheers, mate.
Buzz Lightyear to Star Command. Come in, Star Command.
Do all toys start out thinking they're real, or is Buzz unique in that regard? Did all the other toys have a similar coming-to-grips-with-it experience?
This is answered by the second film. Only the Buzz Lightyear toy line believes they're real.
I found my moving buddy.
What a whore.
2014 CinemaSins, everyone. My, how we do not miss you.
Buzz is in the typical I'm a toy pose here, but how did a deluded toy such as himself ever learn to do this? How did he know not to say anything to humans when he really thought for a fact that he was a space ranger?
Your Honor, I have something to add to my statement.
Proceed, Captain.
I said in my own video that I agree with CinemaSins, this is a valid plot hole. However, it has come to my attention that Buzz says this later.
It looks as though I've been accepted into your culture. Your chief, Andy, inscribed his name on me.
I am willing to accept this explanation, even though I don't think it was good enough. They could have had Buzz elaborate on it further to explain why he's freezing, because this comes off more like an implication rather than an explanation. I think this encounter shouldn't change until more information becomes available.
You do have a point there now that you come to mention it, but I think until further evidence comes about, I'll just add a childhood destruction sin.
This is a hilarious moment when Buzz thinks he's gonna die, but you're telling me this is the first time since his arrival that his helmet has come off? Andy has had enough time to change his posters and linens and ditch Woody for a new favorite toy, but he hasn't pressed all the buttons yet?
Well, we've never seen the helmet come off during the montage set to an awesome Randy Newman song, and the button may not be as conspicuous as the multicolored ones on his chest plate, so it's possible it might have been a first. Not to mention, we've already established that despite Buzz's belief that he's actually a space ranger, he freezes up around humans, meaning that if Andy was to have found the button to remove the helmet, Buzz probably wouldn't have realised unless Andy had left him like that.
I see Buzz Lightyear went to the Prometheus school running away from things.
Not entirely, as after he slips up on the pencils, he then darts towards the windowsill, so he doesn't carry on in a straight line.
Buzz Wilhelm.
Sending the classic Wilhelm scream.
Hey, Mom, be right down.
This is why this toys come to life while humans are gone thing would never work. They got bailed out here only because Andy yelled down to his mom.
Just the yelling, huh? So we're going to gloss over the fact that the toys can hear someone's footsteps and assume with high accuracy that someone will be coming to them?
I'm assuming they're going to Pizza Planet at a decent hour, but they go to a filling station that is practically deserted and a surrounding town that looks totally deserted.
Alright, I think I'll let Moon handle this one.
So, Jeremy never lives in a small town before? Like, seriously, I live in a small town, and let's just say sometimes the gas stations over here looks exactly like this and being deserted when there's actually someone in the gas station.
You are a toy!
Woody and Buzz argue loudly so that any truck driver could hear. Luckily, no one does.
Sinning you are a toy. That's worth a few extra.
Monstrous stack of pizzas allows Buzz the perfect cover.
Pointing out pizzas on the screen cliché. And he does this again here.
Pizza Planet serves a 128-ounce mega gulp.
And here.
Also burgers.
So tripled for this. And coming fresh off my Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2 video, where I used a Toy Story clip for a sin, I was not expecting that to follow me here.
Buzz and Woody demonstrate they can somehow see out of these containers by freezing in position well before the kids run by, then demonstrate they can't see out of the containers by running into each other.
Much like JXE and Vader said in their rebuttals, limited visibility.
Sid just happens to be at the Pizza Planet because evil always lurks at pizza-themed restaurants.
Evil is a bit of a stretch here, bud. Unless you're a toy. But this is an arcade, typically where kids and teenagers like to hang out. Also, I'm not entirely sure if this was intentional, Jeremy, but I'm now on hold with Freddy Fazbear and he wants his pizzeria back. Okay, I just decided to look this up while I was writing the script, and it turns out the Five Nights at Freddy's video game was released 21 days before Jeremy's video on Toy Story 1 came out. So there you have it, I suppose.
I go on to a better place.
Sid puts $1 in and gets a prize on the first pull.
Cool, Mr. Sour Grapes or what? Sending luck again. And here I was joking in How to Train Your Dragon. What is it with you and luck, mate? Did someone not win anything on a claw machine no matter how many tokens you used?
This claw works unlike any other in the history of the prize machine universe. I'm sorry, Sid doesn't win this one. There's no way.
Well, just because it's not easy doesn't mean it's impossible. I mean, hell, Luke even said in his video that he's won several claw machine games at the arcade. I'm not going to play the clip, however. I'll just direct you to his video if you'd like to hear the story. Or even Vader's coverage.
Evil character has at least one light source that is a single bulb swinging free from a chain cliché.
No problem, Cheese. I got this. Jeremy invents a cliché that he'll only ever use for this one-time cliché.
Thanks, Grandy Tomias. And once again, unless you're a toy, calling Sid evil is a bit of a stretch.
Here's where Buzz finally learns that he's just a toy, but one thing is off about this. It's this room. The adult sleeping in the recliner is obviously into hunting, with the duck wallpaper and the deer head mounted on the wall. There are cans strewn about that say cola and root beer, but we should take these to suggest alcohol, not soft drinks. There's a wrench used to turn on the power of the TV, and a coat hanger used as an antenna. A forlorn guitar propped up against it. It's a poor family, possibly a failed musician. What program is this down-in-the-dumps adult watching where a Buzz Lightyear commercial targeted at kids would be playing?
It's possible that there was some kind of movie or show for adults that was playing on the TV before the Buzz Lightyear commercial came on, but explaining what kind of program it was wouldn't have served a purpose in the movie's story, so does it really matter what it was?
Well, Luke, the short answer is no, it doesn't matter. Besides, commercials like this are on almost every TV channel, even outside of the US. I found myself on one of these 5 Australian TV networks, or their subsidiaries, and found a toy commercial during the ad break with an American voice, both in my childhood and in adulthood. Oh wait, I just realised this video is under 10 minutes, so he's looking for things to pad the runtime. Got it. Well, I'll implement Vader's strategy here and add the same number of sins as the things Jeremy had pointed out.
Catch this!
That would be an impossible throw for a human to make. Even Dude Perfect would need like 20 or 30 takes.
Hold on 1 second. How on earth would Dude Perfect need 20 or 30 takes to get it right if it's impossible? I know that those guys and the Aussie variant How Ridiculous would be willing to try any trick shot more than once, but then that would mean it isn't impossible. More so difficult.
But they're cannibals. We saw them eat those other toys.
That's great, but how does Sid explain this to himself when he sees the magically fixed toys? It sure wasn't his parents that did it.
My best guess is that after this, those 2 toys wouldn't go out in public again whilst inside of Sid's room.
Can you fall asleep and stay asleep while still holding something like this hat? Wouldn't it drop to the floor the moment you started to drip off?
Well, like Vader said, the Birdman has the best explanation for this sin, so here it is.
Not necessarily. I wake up with my phone still tightly held in my hand all the time, and if you don't accept personal anecdotes, here's a clip of a man fully asleep but still holding his phone to his face.
Sid's alarm clock goes off at 7 a.m., which he set the previous night at 8:25. That means it took roughly 11 hours for Woody to start asking Buzz to help while he was under the crate. What the hell was he doing before then? Toys don't need to sleep.
Actually, well, they don't have to, but they can. I mean, they've slept at the end of the montage of Buzz Lightyear merch being plastered all over Andy's walls. Woody had a nightmare in the second film, and in the third and fourth films, the toys were sleeping on Bonnie's bed. So this isn't that unbelievable.
Okay, let's move!
Either Sid is taking way too long to launch his firecracker Buzz, or these misfit toys and Woody put together a fairly elaborate plan way too f***ing quickly.
Well, like Luke said, it would be the former, since Sid is spending all of this planning time the toys are taking, setting up his launch base for the firework.
2, 1!
Reach for the sky.
Woody waits much longer than he needs to in order to distract Sid. I mean, that fuse is practically lit already.
No. Woody interrupted him before the countdown could reach 0, meaning Sid's match never touched the fuse, or it didn't stay long enough for a proper ignition.
I'm okay with talking sentient toys in a movie. I really am. But I'm not okay with talking sentient toys that can run fast enough to catch up to a truck moving at even the slowest speed.
Do I really need to play that Stephen A. Smith clip again?
Stay off the weed!
Small things are able to sprint like their bums are on fire. Like my cat when he's not in a cuddly mood. And if not that, then let me just say this once again. This isn't our reality.
Toy's plastic fingers have a stronger grip than a dog's jaws. In other words, Woody is puppy chow.
Seriously?
Okay, fine. Once more. This isn't our reality. Otherwise, because Woody's hands are plastic, they'd be durable enough anyway.
Well, thank goodness for that conveniently timed and extremely long red light.
Sinning realism.
Also, RC is a talking sentient toy like the rest of them. There are times in this movie where he freely moves of his own will, so how does this work? Does the remote control supersede RC's own will as a thinking toy?
Yes.
This guy in the blue car must be flipping out.
I'm going to stop you right there, because as we see later on in that clip, Bo Peep has to look through Lenny to even see Buzz and Woody riding on RC. So the driver of the blue car probably wouldn't have noticed.
Ah, Disney. Didn't we get enough of that song the year before this came out?
Singing Hakuna Matata. That's just low, even for you.
The rocket! The match!
Wow, that match never fell out during all that. Hell, I'm kind of surprised the rocket didn't fall off, but the match? That thing is long gone. And don't get me started on Woody's hat, either.
Ah, you almost had it with the match and Woody's hat, but then messed it all up by saying the rocket, which was taped onto Buzz's body, didn't fall off.
What?
Jeremy must never have used a match before.
This is where I stop and ask you to ponder one thing. If Sid had never tortured Woody, then Woody and Buzz would never be able to put this plan together and be returned to Andy, which means the movie's sort of saying torture is a necessary evil, and I'm okay with that. And I am not okay with that.
Since when was the movie ever suggesting that? Even if Sid didn't torture Woody, he still would have figured this out due to Buzz's helmet burning Woody's hand here. Since, Woody is smart enough.
The street was dead empty for, forever just a second ago.
Meanwhile, they're catching up to, and even passing several of the cars that were already ahead of them.
Hey, wow!
Andy asks no questions why the two toys he was looking for suddenly show up in a box right next to him.
That might have something to do with the fact that he is 6 years old! Wrong image there, Jezza. That's from the third movie.
Sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
And with all that, court is adjourned. Be sure to leave any more suggestions for CinemaSins sins down below, and I will see you in the next video.